Hi there, and welcome to EDGE's May Revision Overview. My name is Ana Alvarado, Chief of Policy and Government Affairs for the California EDGE Coalition. EDGE is a nonprofit, nonpartisan statewide policy and advocacy organization dedicated to addressing workforce shortages and create pathways to the middle class with a specific focus on communities historically left out of our state's prosperity. In this video, I will be providing an overview of Governor Newsom's 2025-26 May revision. In our overview today, we will be highlighting budget proposals in the areas of education, workforce development, and safety net, all issues impacting opportunity youth, workers, immigrants, and underserved communities of color. So, what's going on with the state budget? Before we get into the details, let's first talk about what does the May revision even mean? In short, the May revision is the governor's yearly update to the state budget, which is released by May 14th of every year. It includes new revenue estimates, updated spending plans, and may change or remove proposals from what the governor had proposed in his January budget. With that said, California is facing another tough budget year with a revised proposal addressing a $12 billion shortfall driven by federal instability and market shifts. Despite these challenges, the state continues to protect some progress toward economic security and opportunity for Californians. If you'd like to learn more about the state budget process, check out the California Budget and Policy Center at calbudgetcenter.org. They provide a great step-by-step on the budget process and are truly a great resource. Now, moving on to our overview. We're kicking things off here with education. The May revision is proposing major fiscal changes to the community colleges. Specifically, it lowers the proposed COLA to 2.3%, still above last year's 1.07%, resulting in a 12.9 million less for the Student Center funding formula and a 122,000 cut to categorical programs that support underserved students, students with disabilities, and English learners. The May revision proposes shifting $492.4 million in Prop 98 funds from community colleges to TK-12 to expand transitional kindergarten, significantly reducing community college funding and threatening their ability to plan, hire, and sustain student services just as enrollment begins to recover. The proposal also cuts credit for prior learning from funding from 50 million to 15 million one time and from 7 million to 5 million ongoing, impacting a key initiative of the Master Plan for Career Education that helps Californians turn real-world experience into college credit. The May revision withdraws the full 5 million in ongoing funding initially proposed to establish the California Education Interagency Council, a key component of the Master Plan for Career Education aimed at improving system alignment, informing policy, and creating clear pathways for students, workers, and employers. The May revision cuts Rising Scholars Network funding from 30 million to 10 million, limiting support for justice-involved students seeking education and skills training opportunities. The May revision does maintain a 3 million ongoing increase to support the California College Guidance Initiative, also known as CCGI, and Cradle to Career Data System. CCGI provides college and career planning tools for all 6th to 12th graders and streamlines transcript transfers to bridge K through 12 and post-secondary education. So far we're seeing some cuts to important education programs, but there's still a bit of investment happening, like the cost of living increases and funding for the data system, which is a key tool that will help us identify gaps and disparities across the state. Next up, we have workforce development. The May revision is proposing to maintain the 17 million investment for the CalRISE program, which supports employment social enterprises that create jobs and provide training and support for individuals facing significant barriers to work. The May revision also adds 18.2 million in one-time funding on top of the 3 million proposed in January to support construction and trade apprenticeships through the Department of Industrial Relations. Because the state is facing a major shortfall, there are no additional funding to the following skills training programs: higher road training partnerships, Breaking Barriers to Employment, Apprenticeship Innovation Fund, and the California Apprenticeship Initiative. We're glad to see no significant cuts overall, but the lack of sustainable funding does raise concerns for next year. These programs are critical to expanding equitable access to high quality training and apprenticeships, particularly in sectors beyond traditional trades, and support underserved communities through the job creation, wraparound services, and industry aligned career pathways. And finally, but just as important, social safety net issues. The May revision is looking to scale back on previous commitments made in past budget cycles, most of them impacting our immigrant communities. The May revision proposes freezing full scope Medi-Cal enrollment for undocumented adults 19 and older starting January 2026, limiting access to essential health care for many Californians. The May revision maintains monthly cost of care plus payments for state subsidized childcare providers, but does cut 42.7 million from the Emergency Childcare Bridge program and 60.7 million from the COLA, making it harder for working families to access affordable care. The May revision includes 456.1 million in trigger-based spending for 2027-28, including 117.2 million for expanding the California Food Assistance Program, which aids immigrant families excluded from federal food programs, but tying funding to future revenues does delay critical support and worsens food insecurity. Securing a safety net is a key component of economic mobility. It helps Californians stay afloat while completing their training programs so they can build skills, finish school, and move into good family sustaining jobs. So what's next? After the release of the May revision, the legislature develops a budget plan in late May, early June to facilitate the passage of a balanced budget before the June 15 deadline. The governor has 12 days, once passed by the legislature, to sign or veto the budget plan. This budget season remains particularly challenging, underscoring the urgent need for California to uphold its commitment to equity, especially for communities experiencing economic and social barriers. EDGE is prepared to work alongside the administration, legislature, and partners to ensure that workers returning students, opportunity youth, underserved communities, and industries are prioritized as we navigate this period of economic uncertainty. And that concludes our May revision overview. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find our full budget summary and monthly policy updates on our website at caedge.org. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. My email is here on the screen. And before I sign off, please consider joining our EDGE network. You can join the EDGE network by scanning the QR code on the screen right here. Membership is completely free. By joining our network, you'll receive policy updates, advocacy opportunities, and ways to take action. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope to stay connected with you as the legislative session continues. Take care.